Party audio is being included. So, we are live.
Hello world.
Just get it all set up on here so I can see everything. There we go. Cool. This is something new, isn't it?
Yep. we used to commentate on our own races while we're actually racing, but yeah, it's going to be quite the unique thing.
At least you've got a decent outlook on it.
Yep. Gotta remain positive, brother.
Oh god. So, where do we start?
Well, I think
question.
it looks like everyone's starting to ready up for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So,
One-shot qualifying, which will be interesting in a 100% race, which was not what I signed up for. This was not in the contract.
This is not in the briefing. So, yeah, we're looking forward to a very long and enduring race at the Interlagos racetrack in Brazil. Known for unpredictable weather, so we might see some rain, we might see some dry, we might see a bit of both. Who knows?
Damn, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm just gonna let.
I'm learning from
enjoy this.
I'm learning from our possible mentor.
So we've
call it
been
that.
asked by Nico in chat predictions. Well, as I don't know anything about this,
Well,
about the standards here, I'm going to say I'm just going to predict a good race.
yeah, I'm gonna say the same. You know, hopefully clean. You know, and hopefully very entertaining. You know, it's obviously 71 laps. I think I saw at the start there.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to be sat here for a while.
So yeah, hopefully.
Take the blind pick. Oh god, now I need to have a look at who we've.
Yeah, I can't remember who
got. Let's have a look. I've got the standings here somewhere. Let's take a look and be reasonable while also not being too boring.
You know what? I'm going to stick, because I race for Mercedes in a different league, I'm going to stick my money on Jack Daniels in the Mercedes.
Is that just because you want a drink?
No, I'm sticking with my Mercedes allegiance. So, as the drivers pick their setups and get prepared for one-shot qualifying, should we have a bit of a chat about the overtaking spots around Interlagos?
Take it away.
So, some of the interesting corners we've got here. We've got the DRS straight up the start-finish straight into the S Senna. Now, many a move can be made into the corner. You could, if you're lucky, you can get, if you get the DRS, perfect, almost guaranteed move with how long the straight is. We have the Cida del Lago at the end of the first sector, I believe, going to the second sector. And maybe if you're brave, maybe into the middle section in corners such as Pico de Paso and Junsao, maybe, if you're brave.
I was going to say, I'm not attempting to speak any of the actual corner names. You can have the fun of that one. I'm just going to refer to them by numbers. It's never failed me before, and it's certainly never going to fail me now.
Indeed.
Don't worry, it's a very PG-friendly can of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Good for you. My drink of choice tonight is a Dr. Pepper Zero. I just seen that.
Yeah. So we've got a familiar face in Rover joining the chat as well, and obviously some of the drivers for tonight. So Greetings, everyone. This is actually surprisingly.
Do we have
I'm
a lot of people?
I'm seeing numbers I usually don't see. I'm used to seeing a 1, not a 1 next to a 1.
Wait, we got 11? God damn.
Yes, I know.
Wow. Hello,
We're doing
everyone.
well. Maybe I should have been doing this more often. Now this'll be a bit rough around the edges, but
Yeah.
I mean it's a first attempt. Who knows how this'll go? We're here for. Okay, Ashley, I see what you're trying to do there. You're trying to. Actually, yeah, you're probably just trying to make us look like a tit. And that took 5 minutes. That has to be a new record for me, at least in some instance, right?
What? Oh,
I went, yeah.
I heard that. Come on, we're trying to be
Yeah.
PG. We want to, you know.
May as well get it out the way in the first sort of 10 minutes. Anyway, qualifying will be
Due to begin
commencing,
any moment.
and this will be an absolutely chaotic way of trying to keep up with things.
Yeah, well, let me get. Now, this is a very different qualifying format to what I'm used to. I'm usually used to
Okay.
a usual time session, but we'll do what we can. Looking at turn 1, looks like Lord Coleman has the advantage.
And we shall head on board with them
We
now.
have an invalidation already for Frosty Racing. Who else? Can we see?
Following the Aston Martin driver through into the middle sector. So far looking very clean, keeping it within the markings. A lot of movement up and down the order, but the Aston Martin is staying put. Rounding through to complete the middle sector, and another flash of purple.
Jack Daniels up to second as well. He set the purple second sector.
So it
Could he be on
close
for a
one.
last minute push to get pole position? Using that
Head
extra
across the
bit
line
of
with
time for the pit lane?
Aston, and it's a
Ooh.
very close pole position. Lord Coleman takes it
To be fair, it's a very close
by
top
less
10.
than a tenth. With the pole being a 107.9, and we've got our very own Horizon commentator in the chat.
Do we have Mr. Screamlight?
We do indeed. Strange being on this side of it. Well, yeah, that makes both of us. It's strange being on.
No, it's weird
strange
not
taking up
racing.
your role. Yeah, I'm usually doing what they're doing on my screen now.
But you see, the Red Bull of George Plaster had a terminal damage incident that caused them to DNF. They'll start at the back of the grid for this race. Actually, no. 15th, because of the disqualifications to Frosty and Nico.
So, it's better to have 0 wheels on your wagon than to go offline, it seems. But Lord Coleman takes pole position by 65 one-thousandths of a second. It's very close. But now, we've got quite a lot of racing to sit through. Well, Easy Life has taken the easy way out.
That may have been a disconnect, actually, but I mean, did you catch where Easy Life? Oh, I haven't got a race stacked actually.
I didn't see.
14th for the Alpine driver.
Will we get any of the late 90s Brundle sass? Well, we've got Dan. So
we may get Walkerisms.
Yeah, or it'll just get eventually random. This will be the quickest descent into madness you'll probably witness in an F1 commentating session.
Oh yeah.
Ever watched Midnight Le Mans commentary? Expect that.
Yeah, just without the references to certain substances.
What's wrong with referencing cakes?
I mean, you can't have them at 2 o'clock in the morning, but
But you do know what you can instead.
no.
No, that's the wrong kind of. You're on the right track there, Screamlight, but not quite the right. But yeah, you're close. And then we've also got Sen in here, not racing tonight. George is taking his seat. Apparently you can't let Senna down. Well, how's that working out so far?
No, let me get chat up on my phone as well, just so I can keep up with some things.
Just do Spanish early morning Le Mans comms. That's always
Le,
fun.
le, 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 le.
I've already said Dan can tackle all the foreign named corners. I'm not.
Well, I
I'm
can't
not bothering with
guarantee
that
I
one.
will pronounce them perfectly, and I can't guarantee that, if this is going to
Saying
go
that
smoothly.
you couldn't pronounce remember or
We don't
memory.
talk about
You
that.
put them together.
We don't talk
What do
about
you
that.
think? Why has it already left your memory?
I hate you. Looking at the well, just looking at the race director for the moment, DRS Syme choosing to go on a soft tyre at the moment. We've got a couple of hard runners. We've got Marvsky, Michael, and Sainsy. Everyone else on the medium tyre to start at the moment. Now we're just waiting on the call for everyone to start, I believe.
We are indeed, but until then, I've probably not got much to say actually.
I mean,
This is where I'm usually
I
not
can
vague.
fill in some time with some facts about the Brazilian Grand Prix, I guess.
Go for it.
We've got, well, in real life, we've had many, obviously, modern day greats win around this track. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. Oh, I believe this is formation lap now.
Oh, here we go.
Ah, I got caught out.
It's the
Anyway,
formation lap.
while I'm on the formation lap, I shall continue with my facts. Obviously, most wins in real life around this track goes to Alain Prost with 6 wins. For a constructor, McLaren have 12. Looking at the grid, maybe Finley might be the McLaren's best hope today.
And he needs to finish in the top 4 of his split tonight in order to clinch the Pro-Am title. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on him throughout the course of the race.
Any other championship? Obviously, Haas and McLaren separated by 2 points. RB not too far back on about 24 behind Haas. So it's still very much all to play for in constructors, as well with Red Bull only 12 behind RB.
So really a good race for anyone in our top 4 in the constructors. And it opens up everything for the last round, which I believe is next week.
Well, it's not going to be in a month's time, is it?
I don't know. I don't make a bloody calendar, do I?
Anyway, as everyone is returning to the grid now, we got a bit of a gap between the first 3 or 4 to the rest of the pack. Maybe some people want to keep some warmth into the tyres as they head uphill towards the grid. Now it's a very unique grid at Interlagos. Uphill, not many tracks have that. As we see the Ferrari and Haas of Frosty and Nico pulling up to
this
their
would be
grid
one
slots.
of those kind of tracks where I'd hope for an auto hold feature in my car, Hill starts can always be tricky.
Yep.
But here
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out. Lights out and away we go. And it looks
Lloyd
like
Coleman
Coleman's
with a very
holding the
good
advantage.
start. A lot of movement going up and down with the
Everyone's safely through the centre
McLaren
S.
of Finley going side by side with the Alpine. As we see the chrome-nosed McLaren just not making it.
We have a move in the background for
And he's now
George
being
and
attacked
Bloomer.
by the Sloth in the RB. They're going side by side, but he backs out, as there is plenty of time in this race to make up the positions.
Oh, there's a Ferrari around in the background. It's Frosty.
Wonder what happened here. That might
It
be
looks like
something
he got loose on the
to,
curves, from what I can see.
that is a shame, but thankfully he hasn't dropped too far behind the
And especially
behind the
this
leading
long
pack.
distance, a safety car can bring the driver right back into the play.
But out at the front, half a second. Not much separating anyone at the moment, as the train is all the way down until
Let me get tyres.
P16.
Let me get tyres up real quick.
However, it does look as if our P16 driver of Easy Life in the Alpine has unfortunately disconnected from the race.
Just looking into tyres real quick. Marsky, Prezi, Michael, Sainsy and Nico on the hard tyres. Simon sticking with the soft tyre to start with. Everyone else on mediums.
A very interesting strategy then, and as I've looked back up onto my screen, we can see that Jax Daniels
Is now
has
leading.
taken the lead, and
He's
is
pulled a second
scarpering.
almost.
He would like, if he wants, to break, as the possible race strategies come up with a potential
Oh, we have a slowing
stop
Alpine at the background, I believe. Or the
of
Red
either
Bull of
soft-
Michael.
of either a set of softs, mediums, and hards, and run all three compounds,
Does
or
Coleman
a
have
medium
DRS?
hard medium. The Aston Martin
Coleman
behind
has DRS.
he too has got the DRS. Jax Daniels and the Mercedes did not get to Scarpa, but he sets the fastest lap in the process.
Just going to look
The
back
DRS
into the
train goes
pack.
all the way down, and George and Sainsy going... No, George and Prezi, sorry, going side by side through the Senna S, with the Red Bull just getting ahead of the Haas. However, with DRS, the Haas is going to attack around the outside and reclaims the position as the McLaren and the RB go toe-to-toe. It's almost looking very familiar to... Oh! McLaren has been forced off by Sainsy and goes through the sponsor boards. That's just causing them to lose more and more time to the pack up front. But speaking of, we can head back to
And
the
back
front
to
of the grid.
We have a half-second gap between Jack Daniels and Coleman. This might get
Right on
tasty
board
into the
with
Senna S on the next lap.
the Aston Martin. As our Alpine driver, Easy Life, has rejoined the session, hopefully he can get back in control of the car and get into racing. As there's no real moves other than the battle of the Red Bull and the Haas, with the Red Bull getting back through.
We got Nico in the pits. This is an early stop, especially for someone who started on the hard tyres. Is there damage? Or is this a... But there's front wing damage to Nico, he's in the pits.
Movement in the podium positions as the Williams gets up into third. Both Aston Martin drivers looking very strong. However, Lord Coleman has seemingly lost a bit of ground to the Mercedes. We check round at the back as Nico is coming back out of the pit lane, having done a wing change, and he is on the soft compound of tyre. So hopefully using that, if he can keep it alive, he can bring himself back.
The gap is back extended again between Jack Daniels and Lord Coleman.
But he did not manage to
Didn't break
the
away.
second before the detection point, and I can confirm by the looks of things that our Alpine driver in 16th has returned. The Ferrari and McLaren in 12th and 13th getting close together. So
We have a
big lock-up
move
from the
for
Ferrari
4 from
and
Marsky.
And the first
KDR
penalty
races.
of the race goes to the Williams of KD Races. It's not what he wanted to have seen on fifth lap, and I'm not sure if you've noticed, there is damage to the front wing of the Williams, as the front left end plate is missing.
Good
So
spot.
that's going to hamper him, and that penalty will not be
ideal.
No, not at all. And even less ideal is he risks
As a
being
charging
dropped out of
Alpine.
DRS.
There's a charging Alpine behind him as well.
But it looks as though he's just managed to hold on within that second window.
I don't know.
As
No, there's DRS.
Smug Git in the Aston, cracking name, has dropped away from the battle for the top four as our Pro-Am leader comes up behind to challenge. So let's have a look. We've got got someone in the chat looking for the Mercedes win. On with you in the championship. So let's have a look at our Pro-Am. So as of right now, trying to look at our standings.
While you do that,
is currently looking very strong to win the class.
I'm gonna say while you do that, it looks like Coleman may be under threat from KD Races, but they are stuck in the DRS train of about 5 cars or 4
and
now.
If we have
as Smug get pits.
Have a look at the Aston. Is there any potential damage to this car? Is there going to be a wing change, or is it an early tyre swap? It is a wing change for the Aston Martin. That is not what he would have liked to see so early on.
This goes back to the point I made earlier. 100% race can be very enduring. You've got to be careful of what you do in the early stages to be there at the end.
They're much more easily lost in these opening laps than they are won. So, but we've got a few drivers out here that have been keeping it steady.
Oh, we have a yellow flag at the... I just got the corner names up again.
Haas is around. That was Prezi. But he's gotten himself going again. And I can't see any damage to his car, so hopefully he can get himself back up to speed and make up the time that he's just lost.
Still a DRS train at the front here. You know, I don't...
One benefit to this race, as it currently stands, is with Jax Daniels leading and DRS Swanton not showing up for tonight's race, is that
could be a swing in the championship, is it?
If Jax Daniels finishes in the first 2 positions, as Sainsy gets his first time penalty of the race, he will overcome the 17-point gap and take the lead of the Pro Championships.
Would he take over in overall as well, I believe?
In the overall, I can check that for you now.
Yeah, it's 21 points, so it would be an overall swing if it stays as it is.
Yep, if he wins as it is, it would be an overall change in the leading battle. And the benefit and the most, and the constructor winning out the most as it currently stands.
We have we have a bit of a fake from Lord Colin, was it?
Ooh. As there's a battle between the RB and the Sauber, down start finish straight. Could we see the soft tyres starting to fade away on that Sauber?
We have a bit of a look from the Alpine of Marvsky. No move made. And Bloomer has a penalty now.
Let's have a look at the leading battle with their battery levels. Lord Coleman very low on ERS, while Jax Daniels...
Oh, KD was into the back of Coleman.
is recharging quite nicely and is over 60%, double what Coleman has got in the Aston.
So I feel like
So
Jack Daniels may be controlling this gap at the front.
the biggest winner early on so far is George in the Red Bull, who has gained
coming up for
10
15th?
positions.
Yeah, well done to them so far.
And not only have they done that, but they are gaining on the train for the top 4. So this could not be the end for their position gains in this opening stint of the race. Marvsky has also gone up 2 positions, while KD Races has stuck with P3 from the start.
I believe there's another position change for 8th.
Positions change, Ferrari going up, that's the 8th position gain for them so far this race.
I can't. Oh, there might be Smugget and Easy Life at the back of the field.
So we will start seeing some level of tyre deltas starting to form.
Oh, Easy Life has a little look, but nothing comes of it.
As we've obviously got Syme in the Sauber on 9-lap old softs, which, while they haven't been on for very long...
And George is now on the back of the leading group as well.
We shall head back to the front-running train following on board.
Oh, right to the inside foot.
He seems very much in this train.
It seems the defence has already started for some of these positions.
Elbows do seem to have to be coming out, which...
Gloves are coming off as the Alpine is look for the outside of... Finley now has a 3-second time penalty as well.
However, in his battle for his Pro-Am crown, that will not come into effect.
At least not this moment.
As his closest competitor, Sainsy, is not close to him at the moment.
There seems to be a small break in the group, is there?
Marvsky is basically pushing the Williams through onto the start-finish straight. This could be a move here. With the
They both have DRS though. Marvsky looks to the outside for the centre S. He's through. Oh, was that a bit of contact?
However, there does not seem to be any extra damage visually to the front wing of that Williams, so it looks as though everyone has gotten away with that for now.
Check into chat for one moment, just see what... Okay, thank you for that, Max. Thank you for the information. Obviously, we are both new to the league. We are trying to learn people as we are going.
And then a very interesting comment from one Mr.
Pickle. So let's keep an eye on George at the moment.
I shall get any further standings.
Almost right up the diffuser of KD. And straight through. Almost probably one of the easiest moves I've seen so far. Slight lock-up was it as well.
But no damage done other than maybe to those tyres. Like
maybe some time damage as well.
Brundle once said,
as Marvsky looks up the inside into the Delago. No move made at the moment.
We watch from the helicam.
A Sloth now gets a time penalty as well. Doesn't really seem to affect their race at the moment. There's 3.6.
Penalty updates, obviously, we've got Centra Finley, Sloth, Sainsy and Late Bloomer on 3 seconds, while KD Races in 5th is on a 6-second time penalty as it stands. Look at the position changes. George up 11 places.
And the Alpine is looking to go for second now. Around the outside, it's still there. Not at the moment. Maybe see if they can get the DRS into turn 4 to Ciudad del Lago.
And in 4th at the moment, George will be licking their lips in anticipation of some kind of incident going on in front to capitalise on. For now,
maybe that wing
they
damage is
bottom out
starting to get to
maybe on that
KD Races as well.
as the tyres are going to start phasing out at this point. 14 laps into the first stint.
Just looking a bit further back into the field. A look
Symes
at
seems to be holding on at the moment pretty well on their old soft tyres that they've had since the start of the race.
bit of a battle going on for 12th between Bloomer, 50 Gent and Michael as well.
I will keep watching that at some point, but we're going
As we
back
get
to the
battle
front
leaders as well.
down the start-finish. On board with the Red Bull again. Rear wing open.
Alpine looks
it looks
again.
like the Alpine will be going for it.
They got the overlap.
Down
got the line for
inside
turn
turn
1, is that
one, side by
contact?
side.
They make the move,
And
fair
through
play.
goes the Alpine. What a move. As DRS Syme does pull into the pits for...
And George
tyre
also gets
change.
Coleman. This is not a very good lap for Coleman right now.
See, what does the Sauber do? The Sauber is
Onto the
onto a
mediums.
set of medium compound tyres. But what has happened to the Aston Martin driver, who seems to be dropping like a stone this lap, as he has also lost 9/10 to the leading three, but seems to be clawing it back.
Now, will Marski or George make a move for the lead in the next few laps?
This could be the most amount of pressure put on the Mercedes driver so far this race.
If I had to put my
The
money on
Alpine's looking very
anyone,
racy.
if I had to put my money on anyone for the immediate moment, I might say Marski with that hard tyre advantage of
Yep,
the longevity.
Those tyres look to be phasing in beautifully on the Alpine as he makes
Looks
a
at-
look to the inside, but just does not have the overspeed.
Let's look a bit further into the
But
field.
The Aston Martin of Coleman has fully dropped out.
Another
And that is a
penalty for
third
KD.
time penalty for the Williams, as while we've not been paying attention, the Ferrari has made its way up into 6th, up 10 places
And
now.
there was a look for Michael at the inside of Bloomer, not happening at the moment. As this 50 Gen is also looking on DRS Smug Git as well.
For what was going so well for the Aston Martin team, it now just seems to be unravelling somewhat.
However, we do have nearly 50 laps to go.
That is very true, and we might have a pass for the lead going into the Senna S. The Alpine trying it around the outside, but just gets squeezed. Great defending.
However,
from
there is another
Mercedes.
DRS overtaking opportunity.
Has
Jack
Mercedes
Daniels looks
left enough in
inside,
the tank?
defends, slots
But
in
he
behind
doesn't
the
fight
Alpine.
it too much. So, for the first time this race, since
And now-
taking it, Jack Daniels has lost
they're
the
side
lead,
by
and now
side
he's under
into
threat from the Red
6.
Bull. Round the outside,
Oh, they're
still
squeezed!
side by side. And maybe even the switchback.
Has he tried? They tried the outlet. They
What
tried the outside.
a
What a move!
for the Red Bull.
And there's a yellow flag at the Desert del
McLaren.
Lago. It's late bloomer.
McLaren off. Late bloomer is off.
Looked like they were beached for a moment.
But they have got it going again, which is good for them. However,
And it saves
down
us
the
from a
start
safety
finish
car.
straight now, this could be very interesting, as the Red Bull is now in prime position, although the Alpine has scarpered.
Indeed. What can we have an update on battery, please?
Let's have a look at the telemetries. So George has some battery management to be doing, down at 8% there, while Marvsky has 30%, really managing that ERS well.
Looking through the field, I can't see any close battles at the moment. Maybe for 11th is the closest I can think of. Or 9th between Sainzy and Prez. That
Keeping an eye
However,
on the track map as well as the timing tower, but our previous race leader, Jax Daniels, has dropped away from the front two, who have just gone.
now one must wonder how much tyre does George have left? Mediums versus hards. This is not going to be an easy battle.
Considering the way they've just gapped the likes of Jax Daniels and Lord Coleman on the same tyres, with the same
As
number
KD
of laps,
races
he
pits
seems to have
and Sloth.
plenty of tyres. But it seems as though the first bite of the cherry for the medium runners has commenced. As the Sloth goes on to fresh mediums, KD races onto
Oh, it's
the
a great
hards.
line for George through. I keep forgetting that corner. It's Ferradura into Pico de Pato now.
We are firmly
Still within DRS.
fixed on this leading battle right now, as it is the closest battle on the track.
But Marvsky is gaining.
Marvsky is going.
Despite the DRS from George.
And that isn't the Alpine out of threat, as the Red Bull just gains the DRS by pushing through the Senna S. But can he keep it up for the rest of?
We got Finley in the pits now onto medium tyres.
So our Pro-Am leader takes their first pit stop.
Okay, thank you Ashley for watching. We shall hopefully, if we do come back and commentate further races, we shall see you later.
Late bloomer with another penalty, it seems. Down in 15th place. It's not going well for them at the moment, as here comes easy life in the Alpine. Down the inside, but just backs out of it. However,
and the gap is back.
the top
Not
two
enough for
have
turn
run,
one.
but Jax Daniels and Coleman both into the pit lane for the potential undercut on the current
Oh,
leaders.
what an exit for George through the centre S's.
We're back on board. We're on board with the Red Bull.
Is this a move for the win? Or lead even?
Down the inside.
Tidy move so far.
Side by side, still side by side, and he gets the move done. Let's see
That
if the
is
Alpine
what we
has
want to
anything
see.
do. Anything to say about that?
That was a picture perfect move. You could, like, you put in that DRS overtake into the Desert del Lago. You look for that in the dictionary. That is what you find.
Jax Daniels has found a perfect gap of clean air, 8.7 seconds behind Sainzy, and still clear of DRS Smugger in
And
the
we have a yellow
Aston.
flag in Sector 2. It looks like it was.
It's cleared itself up, whatever caused that one.
I can only assume it was Michael, looking at
The Red
the
Bull's
colour.
The Red Bull broke DRS
No, it has.
before the start-finish
Oh
straight.
yeah, no man.
However, Marski must have used their battery to get back into that one.
Let's look at
Or
George's
George
battery
is
while
running
we're
a
at it.
higher wing.
George is with under 20% of battery, so it might be a short-lived lead. As we see Prez and Sainsy move up into the top 5 as Frosty pits onto the hard tyre as well.
And my controller goes berserk.
Jack Daniels back to the top 5 as well.
Let's see, can I have a look at what previous lap times were? Unfortunately not. You can have a look at their fastest laps, which currently is at with the Ferrari of Frosty with a 1:11.6. But the fastest in the top 5 so far with the fastest lap is George in the Red Bull with a 1:11.8.
And I believe, have they broken DRS this time? No.
Not again.
Oh, as George pits out of the lead. And a 10
with a
second
10-second
speeding penalty.
speeding penalty.
Very
That is
unfortunate for the Red Bull. And onto another set of mediums. Going very aggressive at the earlier stage of this race.
But it opens things up. Do they take a conservative medium and potentially run out the end of the race on a set
As
of
Lord Coleman
softs?
set a new fastest lap of 1:11.380.
Jack Daniels undercuts George, which would mean that Jack Daniels is our provisional leader in net P1 once again due to that undercut. Very good decision.
Now let's see, what does and another penalty for George. This is
It's all
not going well
starting
for
to
him now.
unravel for them now.
As let's see what Marski and the Alpine does now. They've got 22 lap old hard tyres, as do the others in the top 3.
Because do they want to try and extend this stint to have to build up a tyre offset, or do they want to cover off the opposition? It looks as though they're going to build the tyre offset.
I don't know. They're staying at roughly 13-second time difference. Actually,
It's a bold
looking
strategy,
back,
Carton. Let's see if it works out.
actually
for
looking
them.
back towards Jax, it's probably more like 17 seconds.
Yep. As
I don't know. I can't remember what the
look.
tyre, the pit delta is, but I don't think it is.
At the moment, Jax Daniels is 17.8 seconds off
me do
the
a-
lead and closing. As Frosty
moment.
Racing in the Ferrari takes the fastest lap of a 1 minute 12.1.
There's about
11.2.
we'll call it. Let's say it's about 15-second pit delta. Looking at Jax's times.
But
As Frosty
looking at
sets
this
another
battle as
fastest.
well, it is nose to tail Mercedes and Red Bull for what is currently net P1. As easy life in the Alpine, it's just not going easy for him today, as he gets another penalty. Unfortunately, this one at 10 seconds.
No, and well, first starting with the disconnect, and now this penalty. It's just not been the great night.
But down the start-finish straight, has Jax Daniels pulled enough of a gap on the Red
And-
Bull?
Oh, as we've got Sainsy and Prezi in the pits, and just going back to the easy life
Back into the top
situation.
three.
I'm hoping someone gets the joke I'm making there. Maybe, and another 3-second penalty for him, as I'm going to say this. Maybe they should change their name to Hard Life.
Yeah.
If anyone
Oh.
gets that joke,
Red Bull
please,
side by side
I like you.
with the
if you like,
Merc. As George is now through and can hopefully
oh, there's a stack up in the
put the
front.
hammer down.
Oh, luckily there's ghosting with the lap cars. As the Alpines go side by side in ghosting.
The Alpine
It's like seeing
teams
double.
are within each other.
Ooh. However, I do believe at the moment Marsky does have that pitted, like the pit window. Only
It is
just.
currently 14 seconds is the gap between
A perfect.
Marsky.
Oh, we have late bloomer out in the pit lane.
That shouldn't cause a safety car. So that doesn't cover off the threat.
I like that screen, like Alpineception.
Well, technically he said Alpine caption.
I know what he meant.
Yeah, but that's not what he said. So, you know, if we want to be pedantic, which...
Now, as Jack Daniels is within half a second of George, Michael has a 10-second penalty from the pit lane.
Everyone's
This is getting very interesting.
Now.
You have a
Stupid
penalty. You have a
auto-carrot.
penalty. You
Yeah.
have a penalty.
Yeah, you gotta hate those auto carrots, don't we? No.
What about manual carrots?
Now, you see, people are missing out on the semi-automatic carrots.
Oh.
That's gonna get clipped. That is so gonna get clipped.
There's a purple
that is
sector
out.
for George on this lap. They've broken
Swift
Jack Daniels, I
moving.
believe, for the DRS. They have
Yes,
as well.
they have.
However,
George really
Marsky
trying
has
to
lost
claim
time.
back.
They've lost about 2 seconds of time in about the last 2 laps.
Let's have a look through the race director. Have a look at the lap times. 12. Well, the last lap time for Marvsky was a 13.4, and for George it was an 11.3. 2.1
I think
second gain.
I think Marsky is ruining the strategy here. I think they should have
But-
pitted at least 2-3 laps ago.
At the same time, if they can hold on these tyres, they could be on for a potentially aggressive 2 or even a pretty safe 1.
I suppose looking at a late overcut maybe.
But the Red Bull has officially now dropped the Mercedes and is making the charge.
And the
to
Alpines are
close the
still
gap.
side by side, coming up the start finish straight.
God, if it weren't for the for Easy Life being a lap down, this would be one hell of a scrap.
Anything else close going on? We have DRS Syme and the Williams of KD races. They're still going at it for 6th place. The Williams now having a full front wing again, I believe. Yes, they do. And they are through as well. Terry, I believe the oldest tyre in the field is Marvsky on 27 laps. They've been running that since the start.
I can get that detail for you, for certain. Yes, it is the 27 lap old hard tyres on the Alpine, but DRS Smug Git down in 10th in the Aston Martin has been on their hard compound tyres for 21 laps. And if it weren't for the retirement, Late Bloomer was on their tyres.
What was a
23
10-second corner
laps.
cut-in?
Wow, it is not going well for the Astons now.
Now, what? Let me just look into the championship thing real quick. Aston Martin needing a good race today, and it's just not coming to them. They are 7th in the championship. They needed... Well, to be fair, they need 38 to get past Mercedes.
There is some scrap going on, it seems. With a couple of cars close together, as there is an Alpine. No, that's not an Alpine, that's a Racing Bulls. I'll get it correctly.
I don't think Jax Coleman and Frosty can make it to the end.
So, if we look at what tyres they've got on, George definitely needs to stop again, as they have taken their second set of mediums. Daniels and Coleman could in theory, push to the end, as they have used two different compounds, but they wouldn't really have much tyre left. So, but if we also look at the closing Red Bull, I'm pretty sure by the time this Alpine reaches the next corner, we would almost be able to see the Red Bull in the back of the shot. Not quite that time, but there is the looming threat of a closing Red Bull.
This might be a poor time to say this with how close, the strategy is going to start merging together. I'm just going to take one quick moment for a break.
Okay.
I shall be back with you all in a few moments.
So let's keep an eye on any gaps, as there is a battle here between the Red Bull and Sauber. But fighting for a bit of a wooden spoon, it must be said, at the moment. Let's also get an update on the penalty situation. George in second with 13 seconds. KD Races in the Williams in 6th with 9 seconds. Centra Finley, the Sloth, Sainsy all on 3 seconds each. Smudgett and Michael on 10 seconds, and Easy Life also on 13. So, for some, it's not going particularly well. As something seems to have been going on. Marvsky has pit. Alpine has pit and is now on a fresh set of medium tyres and comes out in 6th place. Let's see what they can do with those new tyres to see about closing the gap to George, now out in P1 by 3.5 seconds. So you've also got Smudgett at the same time coming off of their hard compound tyres, and we can see that they have fitted their own another set of hard tyres. Heading back up to the top 5, Frosty Racing in that Ferrari is looking very racy, catching up to the Aston Martin. I can show the pens again for you if you would like, Max. There they are on screen. 13, 9, 3, 3, 3, 10, 13. So, but then we've still got half the grid clean as a whistle at nearly the halfway point in this race. As we've got a yellow flag, and that is KD Races out of the race, and that looks to be a virtual safety car, as there is a full yellow and the race has been neutralised. Let's see if that causes any sudden pit calls from anyone in the field. George goes past, as does Jax. As it currently stands, it seemed like everyone seems to not be opting for a VSC pit stop. Yeah, sentence you don't seem to say that often. Screenlight is half the grid clean. But here we go, VSC has ended and the race is
As
back.
is typical, I go for 2 minutes and something's happened.
Yep, KD Races, I didn't see what happened, but coming out of turn 4? I think.
To the end of this DRS straight.
Yeah. See, I'm glad you're back because you'd just be able to tell me which one it was. I could look, but that's effort. But coming out of that corner, they seemed to have lost it and they were in the wall. But
Interesting.
other updates, Marvsky has boxed for a fresh set of medium tyres. Frosty Racing, the Ferrari, is on the back of Coleman to try and make a P3 run. And speaking of, it could potentially happen down the start-finish straight. Let's head on board with Ferrari. As one Aston Martin gets a penalty,
the other's
the
been
other
attacked.
one is being attacked round the outside, but defends it well. But
However, another
do they have
opportunity
enough to fend off the Ferrari this
puts
time?
the
Round?
Ferrari
Goes
round
to
the outside. Oh, it's very
and who
tight.
makes it?
Ferrari goes wide.
This is a very, very close battle here.
Very defensive driving from Lord Coleman right now.
You'd think, given how much time is still left in this race, and with a fast approaching Marvsky in the Alpine, that these two would want to work a bit more together.
If this was Moto 3, someone would be tapping the back of the seat and saying, "Follow me right now."
As you're not tapping the back of the driver in front of you to try and get that message across, I think you'll be doing alright.
I was going to say, there's not really much driver-to-driver communication in F1, but
Well, you can always do the faithful hand gesture out the halo. Bloody hell, what was that stutter? Anyway, swiftly moving on as the Ferrari goes around the outside and is clear heading into turn 1, but goes wide.
Coleman will have DRS into turn 4.
Better exit out of the Senna S and towards turn 4. This is very Alonso and Perez-esque of 23.
Just looking through the field, we do have a battle for 9th, I believe, as well.
Have a look.
Between the two RBs as well. It's an inter-team battle.
Going at it. Anyway, I shall leave the feed for now on the Ferrari, while hopefully before any extra action goes on, I can take my own break.
Okay,
quick.
I shall keep the people entertained while we So, let's see what we have going on through the field. We do have that Ferrari of Frosty on the back of Lord Coleman again. I'm going to have to do my best because I'm watching my own stuff as well. The Ferrari in the DRS, the Aston Martin now going up towards the Senna S. Ferrari looks to the outside. No, doesn't look like the move's going to get pulled off. Oh, maybe into turn 2. Oh, the Ferrari just doesn't have the overlap. Gives up for now, but they have the DRS into turn 4. Ferrari back on the DRS now. Looking around towards the outside line. The Aston Martin holding the inside. Frosty round the outside into the Cedar de Largo. What a move. I'm glad you guys have seen that on stream. Now let's see. There is only a 1 lap tyre delta between these two. Frosty having the slightly newer tyre. Hopefully, let's see what the gap's looking like towards the front. It's now 6.2 seconds towards between George in the Red Bull and Jax in the Mercedes. However, going back towards the start finish straight, Frosty and Lord Coleman may be going for round 2 if Coleman can get a good run from Junstau through the DRS. Down the start finish straight into the Senna S. And I don't think Coleman's close enough this time. Are they going to set up for turn 4 again? As I'm looking through the deltas for other drives as well, it looks like there's a battle between Simon and Prezi as well. I don't, obviously, with one of our hosts is gone, we can't really watch that battle. I shall do my best to update you on it as Prezi goes through, and my co-host is back.
I am indeed. So, I can see that the Ferrari has now moved up into P3, and I heard the tail end of the battle between the Haas and the Sauber. Anything else happened while I've been away?
Obviously, Frosty's past Coleman now.
Yep. And Marvsky is right on the tail of this battle.
I was not even watching the Delta there, so fair, good job to you, sir.
So yeah, I'm good at something.
We do have a Aston Martin Sauber battle for 12 between Smug, Git and 50 Gent.
However,
Looking
that
like
battle
that's
looks
starting to drift away.
now.
As we go back to the battle,
it looks more like an
to
Aston
third.
and Red Bull.
We're going back to the battle for third as well.
It looks like it's now that the Alpine has entered the challenge. It is a three-way fight.
We are, I believe, we've just passed the halfway point for this race as well.
And
well, we've long
I'm not
passed.
sure if you have been paying attention.
Oh, we have a yellow.
There's a minor yellow flag.
Brief
but
yellow flag.
It doesn't seem to be anything from there. But as we look at the top three, the only one who started here is Jax Daniels, who is in second where he started. The other two started outside of the top 10, with George gaining 14 places to be in P1 and Frosty racing the Ferrari gaining 13 places for P3. So they are having incredibly good races as it currently stands.
Let me just get my championship graphics back up on my phone so I can keep you... We have a yellow flag. It looks like it is a slow... RB, is it?
It could have been Sainsy who's just lost a position. But it's on their teammate, and this RB battle is still ongoing.
As we look towards the front, Marvsky has passed Coleman and is looking towards Frosty. Newer tyres, so maybe a very, very easy move for Marvsky to make.
But being hounded by the Aston still, they'd like to make this move quickly because they've not only got 6.5 seconds to make up to the Merc, but also then over 8 seconds to catch back up to the lead.
No.
So let's go on board with the Alpine. And I am aware that the camera angle here is not going to be the normal offset T-Pod cam that we'd get on these broadcasts. But that might be something to be done for next time, as the Alpine and Ferrari are side by side.
Ferrari
Marvsky
right all
cuts
over the
back
curves.
down.
Frosty has
Frosty
a 3-second
Racing
time penalty.
has a penalty.
As Marvsky switches to the inside.
Now, but it looks as though, while
easy
hard
done.
fought, the result was going to be inevitable. Let's get a quick update on the tyres. Marvsky's tyres are half the age of Frosty's and pretty much half the age of George's.
And Jax's as well.
George on 17 lap old mediums. Jack Daniels on 19 lap all hards. So you look at those numbers and you think, how many laps will it take for the Alpine to close the gap? But Jack's still, as it stands,
It's still a three-way battle for third.
If things stay how it is for Jax, he's still looking really solid to take the Pro Championship lead. Marvsky not leaving any part of the track unused there.
Let me just get my Pro-Am up as well while looking at it. It looks like Finley's still doing just enough for...
But Sainsy has been
Pro-Am.
creeping back up on them. And Sainsy is their closest competitor.
Do I have penalty? They're both equal on penalty, so it's going to be a straight race at the moment.
But, like what was said at the start of the broadcast, all Finley has to do is finish in the top 4 of the Pro-Am class to clinch the title.
This would mean, as it stands, he needs to finish behind Michael, I believe? Or 50 Gent?
I think it would have to be behind the Sauber, as we cross the line with George to have 30 laps of this race remaining. Gaps are pretty well spread out by now, not too many full battles going on. There is a bit of a train.
Oh, we have a yellow flag at Center S. Correctly cleared, I believe. Oh, as we have... That might be an easy life, as they get lapped by Jax Daniels.
Could have been. Is there a hint of damage on the front wing of that Alpine? It looks to me like the front left end plate is missing on that lapped Alpine car.
I can look for you myself for a moment. Yes, there is an end plate missing.
Marvsky has been closing the gap pretty well to the Mercedes in front, but he has also been dragging along the Ferrari and Aston Martin. But George's lead up front at the 10-second mark, give or take. So they have been pulling the gap steadily and consistently in this second stint. Starting to wonder though, did Marvsky build up enough of a tyre delta? As it is an 8-lap delta between the Red Bull in first and the Alpine. However, it is also a 14-second gap as it stands.
It looks like Marvsky's not making any major inroads, with Frosty still quite close.
Sainz takes the fastest lap currently on 3-lap-old hard tyres, as Sentra Finley in the McLaren pits for their fresh set of hard compound tyres, presumably to go to the end.
You'd have to think, with knowing what's at stake in the championship. And as you can see on the mini-map in the bottom right corner, the field is very, very spread across this racetrack.
Very close there from the Ferrari to the back of the Alpine. I wonder if there's a counter-attack going here. They may have 9-lap older hard compound tyres, but they are not giving up.
As we see, as Marvsky gains another second on Jax Daniels.
Yep. Marvsky has been gaining on Jax, and quite frankly then, in the camera shot we just had, you could see the Mercedes up ahead.
Yep, and we can also see the lap down easy life as well.
The lap down Alpine is
you'd
potentially
think they'd
going
make
to be a playing factor.
Now you'd think, hopefully, that Marvsky will hopefully have an easy life from his teammate.
Call it an easy lifeline.
I was thinking of ways to make it work, but it wouldn't work. However,
yeah, and then I put zero thought into it, and it did. But
yeah,
I thought for a second
George Pitts.
George Pitts. This could be a big move for them.
Oh, the Ferrari's around!
The Ferrari is
just about keeps him.
Wow. I was going to say, what were you on about then? I didn't see it, but George has cleared that 10-second penalty, so only has 3 seconds on them now, and can go to the end on fresh tyres and get that undercut to extend, hopefully, any gaps. But that 10 seconds being served in the pit stop does open things wide open at the front. But as it currently stands, it looks like George has got a very nice clear window as it stands. It seems like
Frosty lost nothing from that spin.
No, they are firmly within. That'd have been interesting.
Now, how do the Alpines play it as they come to the section point? I think Marvsky might just have DRS here.
Yes, they do. The Alpine there coming in very, very handily for their teammate. As Jax is in the pits as well as Coleman. So Marsky takes the lead again. But
now what
Frosty
do these
Racing
boys
in that
do?
Ferrari is still
Jack's onto another set of
not letting
hards.
off.
Coleman's onto another set of hards.
And here's George. We're following on board, like from the off-board
They are
cameras.
neck and neck as
Jax
Jax is coming through the pit exit.
might just get them, you know. It's tight. It is close on the exit, but George does lose out
Only
to
just.
Jax Daniels. As
Centra
Centra
Finley
Finley takes the fastest lap.
Thank you. Finley in the pit as well for some hard tyres. The Sloth has also pitted for hard tyres. I think Red Bull have done. RB even. I apologise. RB have seemed to have done a split double stack. If you know what I mean. If it makes sense.
But they also borderline come out neck and neck.
Well,
Nothing separating
and they're
these
equal with
RB
Michael, who
drivers
also probably needs another stop.
on their 20-lap-old mediums.
Now, I can only assume the ones who are on mediums now will probably take a soft set at the end.
Yep. Frosty Racing has been dropped by Marsky. The Alpine in the lead has just started to eke away the gap now as
we
Nico
see the Mercedes, Jax Daniels and Judge
a 3-second time
coming
penalty.
out of the centre S and curve to Sol section. George looks, no move made.
These two have had a good bit of battling going on as Frosty Racing has seemingly closed the gap out of nowhere. Through
Was
this
there a
middle
mistake?
sector.
Has there been a mistake?
Stay on board with this Ferrari.
I shall keep an eye on this third place battle while you do that as well.
Have these hard compound tyres found a second wind? They're 25 laps old by now, coming up to 26.
As Jax
they are
and George
up.
come out of Junsao within three tenths of each other.
Head on board with the Red Bull driver. As this should
I think the move might be
easy
made.
work of the
Jax looks
Mercedes.
inside. George now looks to either inside, both side by side through centre
But
S1.
George will
Jax,
get
there's
the
a
DRS.
bit of rubbing as they come through to cover the Sol.
But the Red Bull will get the DRS due to where they were at the detection point. Close stuff there from the Red Bull and the Mercedes. But kept it clean, which is what we like to see.
Anything else we can monitor? Oh, really? We can only assume both Marsky and Frosty have one more stop, which is so. I think we're looking. That was provisional. Well, provisionally
That was a
still
net
in.
P1
Still in.
lead change.
It's still in Jax's hand due to the 3-second time penalty for George. But
George is also flying, having just
they've
set a
already dropped the
purple
DRS.
middle sector.
they've already dropped DRS, which is
This is looking like it'll be a fastest lap of the race for the Red Bull. No.
just not.
And has the Mercedes crept back into DRS? Just about.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, get your popcorn, get your drinks, because you are going to be in for one hell of about 20 laps to go.
As the gap to the lead for George is below 12 seconds already. The Red Bull is flying to try and catch up to the lead, and the Ferrari is not letting go easily.
Well, they've already put 2 seconds into the gap to Frosty.
And that is just this lap alone. The time gain from the Red Bull has been absolutely immense on these new tyres.
And Frosty pits. looking for a clean stop now to hopefully. And what we're moving on to, it is another set of medium
Fastest lap
tyres.
for the Mercedes, not the Red Bull, and now
As
it's been taken by the Aston
easy life
Martin.
pit as well.
And Frosty goes onto a fresh set of mediums. They will be one to watch for the last 20 laps of this race. See the gap dropping still to the leader. Jack Daniels does seem to be slowly holding on.
Well, unfortunately, Screamlight, if you are a Sky Q and Sky Glass customer, I don't think you can look at driver onboards right now.
Yeah. If you are a Sky Q and Sky Glass customer, how the bloody hell did you get to this channel?
As Jack Daniels makes a mistake out of Pico de Pato.
I like it the way you just smooth back onto the...
And they've lost
Diversions
about
don't
half a
last.
second from that as well. I don't really know what else we can watch them, and we do have that RB team battle.
I am going to have a look at these time gains. Last lap for George was a 10.6, their personal best of the race, while Marvski a 13.2. It is nearly a 3-second a lap gain.
You know what? This
As
is
it
better
currently
than Sky
stands.
Sports F1. You know what, Crofty? Can I have your job, please, mate? Can I...
Actually, I wouldn't mind that. We get to bugger off wherever we want, really, just around the world.
Exactly.
And get paid to
for
talk
it.
bollocks.
Well, we're doing that now for free, so...
Yeah, so let's take up their job.
Unless we're getting a packet of peanuts or Time Fastics out later. Easy life onto the soft tyre on that last stop as well, just noticed.
Just
I believe...
Fastics and then straight back into F1.
I believe everyone who isn't in double-figure tyres for their tyre life, I think everyone should be running to the end.
I'm also wondering whether or not Marski got another round of DRS from the Sauber they've just lapped.
Who knows? I'm
They
watching.
just beat
I'm
the
watching
gap
this
out.
RB into team battle.
Unless it also potentially seems as though Marski has a lower downforce setup. You say we don't blow out everyone's speakers. That's for now. It can
Yeah,
always change.
you know, when we see something
That wasn't your fault.
as the RBs swap position for 10th place.
Let's have a look at the time gain. It's still about
It's
2.3
3.5
time gain per
seconds.
lap.
3.5 seconds between first and second now.
They
Jack
have been
Daniels
gaining
nowhere
at
to be
nearly
seen.
2.5 seconds to 3 seconds per lap at the moment.
This may be an interesting finish, I think.
Because
We
I
are
would
within
assume
20 to
that
go.
Marski would go onto another set of mediums
I say
and
soft
run
at this.
them.
This late.
But if you go for the mediums, you can run them aggressively.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't have to. They wouldn't have to do any.
Senna's
Have a
asking
look
to
at
see
the
relative
relative
times.
Here's the intervals. So we've got a few close. We've not really got too many close ones actually. The only close battle so far is between the RB drivers.
It's the only one that's consistently close, but give it a lap or two, we may see George and Marski going at it into one of the DRS zones.
The
In
gap
fact,
is now
it's
down to
1.5.
seconds.
We can see the rear the rear diffuser even of the Alpine.
And unless
The
slight
slice.
mistake there,
There's
but
blue flags out for the Sauber.
the Red Bull might just get DRS from the Sauber, and they do. The Red Bull will get DRS from the Sauber and is within a second of the Alpine.
This is
This is gonna get tasty now, I think.
Yep. As
anyone
one.
else seemingly gaining on anyone. The gaps are all seemingly
Here we go. It's 2
stabilised
tenths
other
of a
than the
second
one at
into
the
the
front.
DRS zone for turn 4. This might be the most easiest move George will make in this race. Oh no, they don't make it though.
They're holding back for a bit. Let's have a
Is
look
this mind
at any
games?
batteries.
Is this mind games? They're side by side out of Desio del Lago. They're straight through, going into Paradora.
However,
And they're half a second clear. Well, nearly a second
has
clear.
got... Wow, he's already broken a second. But Marvsky has got nearly a full battery. Whereas George only has 30%.
But you gotta remember, there is about 12 laps of tyre difference.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually about 14.
14. So I was not one far off.
So, is there any other good battles going on? I mean, the RBs are still right on top of each other. As Marvsky's
Marsky
in the pits.
pits.
Let's see what they
Oh,
get.
the
They
10
get
second
a
time penalty for
10-second time
speeding.
penalty. That has just pretty much, you would think, gifted the win to the Red Bull. However, they're onto the softs.
Don't rule out Jack Daniels.
I know, I've just seen what their gap is, and if they can bring that down just by 1.3 seconds and hold it.
There are no lap cars for your whole sector. Do not rule them out.
And, if you think about it, that having no penalties, and let's have a look at the warning situation as well. 1 warning. 2. Jack Daniels is on 2. But
It's back up to 5 seconds. Again, you know, anything can happen in these 100% races. We've got about 15 laps to go. Well, 16 actually, at the end, as we cross the line now. You know, anything can happen. We could have a safety car. We could have another VSC.
another thing I'm watching at the moment is the Ferrari.
We could have a... Yep. Nico gets the 3-second penalty.
Gets a 3-second. So George still currently has the fastest lap. However, we can't rule out what could be a flying Alpine on this lap. Let's just follow them for this lap and see. Get the intervals back up. It was about 9 seconds at the start of the lap.
Sainz gets another 3-second time penalty. Or was that their first?
That would be another one. But they are close to the Aston Martin, I have just noticed that. So Marvsky does not seem to be gaining just yet on the Ferrari, but this is a 15-second tyre gap battle here. And
Randy outside in Ferradura. Fair play, son.
There have been some good moves
As Smug get as a bit of
this race.
Rough exit. Easy move for Sloth.
Look as though Marvsky is gaining
slight
too
tap in the
much.
rear?
Of course, I go off this battle as more happens. This is why I don't run the Sky Sports Battle channel.
we need the IndyCars side by side.
Yeah, need to find a way to both stream and have it show up at the same time. The gap out in the lead is looking healthy, and Marvsky is now starting to make a bit of a dent in the gap to the Ferrari. As the Haas, now that we look at it, is close now with the McLaren. Lap 57 of 71.
On to 58.
And it looks as though the Aston Martin has split the battle between the RBs and potentially even broken that DRS string. So I think it's been about 0.7 of a second
as
gain
Michael picks up the penalty.
so far. make that the fastest lap, a 10.6 for Marvsky on the soft compound tyres, down in 5th. Currently carrying a 10-second time penalty, which does drop them
We're
down
dropping
to
to
6th
8th.
currently.
10 seconds, we're dropping to 8th. Maybe 7th.
7th or 8th, yeah. As I've just noticed that
Finley on the back
has
of Haas.
gotten through on Finley. But Finley
We
with
have
a
that
10.2
Sloth
second
and
gap over
Smudgett,
their rival.
as they've lost the back of Sainsy now. There's 2 seconds between Sainsy and Smudgett.
And Finley has seemingly been dropped by the Haas. Marvsky has gained another second this lap on the Ferrari, with another
10.2.
fastest lap. Alpine is flying now. Really leaving nothing, but hoping they do not take too much out of their soft compound tyres.
Oh, we have a yellow flag set to coup. Looks like it's just nothing from looks like this.
Yep, just a random yellow flag.
I think it could have just been easy life or off the track for a moment.
Frosty Racing is looking very, very close now to Coleman in the Aston Martin. Wonder if they're going to try and push for DRS down the start-finish straight. If they get a good exit, they could get it. Not this lap. .5 is the gap
We have
out front.
A swap of positions between Michael and 50 Gent.
And they have just been lapped, it seems, by Jax Daniels. But
The gap's still staying at 5 seconds with about 12 to go.
whether you've noticed, the Ferrari has caught
Oh,
the
we
back.
have another yellow flag. There's a Aston Martin around.
Smudgett is round.
He's on the grass, trying to recover before the Alpine gets to him. Not that it will matter anyway, because I think there is a
Nope,
lap
it's
between them.
only, yeah, it's easy life anyway.
Oh, and he's into the pits anyway. As he gets off them 28 lap old hard tyres.
Done well to get them to go as long as they did. Let's head back on board with the Ferrari, who is in the DRS of the other Aston Martin, as Jax Daniels is pulling the gap back against George. Is the Ferrari going to go for it now, or are they going to save it for a potential run down towards turn 4? Over the curb. Very, very aggressive looking entry.
There's the gap is rapidly dropping. The other Aston Martin comes out the
Looks
pits.
like a use of battery.
The Ferrari uses the ghosted Aston.
There.
As he...
And they're through.
Very
Very
close to forcing the Aston off the track, but very, very clean regardless.
So, Frosty has got 4 seconds to catch up to the Merc, and we're coming up to the last 10 laps.
However, Jax has lost about a second and a half in the last lap.
And still losing.
There's
no visible damage to the Merc. So whether it was just a bit of a mistake or whether they've had to back off.
What's fuel situation? Can we see fuel telemetry?
George with the fastest lap
on the hard tyre.
Wow. Old hard tyres. That is a statement if we were wondering how much life was in those tyres. Well, there you go.
As we are now 10 to go.
Fuel, from what I can see...
Coleman has a 3-second time penalty as we speak.
Yeah, from what I can see, the Red Bull has 11.6 laps of fuel. The Mercedes, I can't see because I can't see the steering wheel. Ferrari, 10.2. Aston 11.2. Marvsky is the one lowest on fuel on about 9.3. So they might cut it close, and that might explain why they haven't been able to push as much on these softs. And there we go, there's a 3-second time penalty for them.
And we have a bit of a train forming.
Curb.
We have a bit of a train forming with a few lap cars maybe getting involved for this battle for third. And possibly second.
As long as they're not expecting to finish third, then all should be alright. However, the gap out front, now 7 seconds as
we're into the
smoke
9
into
seconds.
the 9s.
Bravo, sir.
What a lap after the spin. And they are immediately back on the tail of Michael in the other Red Bull. And even going for the overtake down on the inside of turn 4. All the while, we can see a battle going on behind.
Yeah, we have about, I want to say, 7 cars in this
watching
group
the
now.
battle for 11th place, while also simultaneously seeing the battle for third.
This could even be the battle for second, you know. We have about
Not
3.5
quite.
seconds to Jax Daniels at the moment. But doesn't seem to be he's claimed from the group.
Yeah, this train might just be enough to help Frosty.
It may benefit, it may not. We have 8 laps to tell.
Let's have a second look at these penalties. George still only on 3 seconds, and Frosty and Coleman on 3.
And look at the
Marvsky
DRS
on
train.
13 seconds, which currently does drop them to P7. Then P8, Finley has 3, Sainsy has 6, Sloth on 3.
This is just
Smug on
not
3,
helping Lord Coleman
Michael
right
on
now.
3, Nico on 6, and Easy Life on 3.
As we look a bit further into the pack a bit, I know it's kind of in the middle of this group, we do have Michael and 50 Gent and DRS Smug Git all in a small DRS battle, which has probably been affected by
And
also the
all
gap for
this battle that is now being basically driven through by Frosty Racing in the Ferrari.
us.
But this could even be hampering the Ferrari due
Exactly.
to just the distractions.
We do have the he has the Aston Martin within about just about half a second away.
Not sure about you, but if I was driving right now, I would not want a semi-translucent Sauber right in front of me.
Exactly.
Or within my car.
If this was a set of
But-
course of Competizione, I would be flashing the cars in front like hell.
Or just do what Frosty did and just drive straight through them.
Cutting through him like a knife through butter.
Or like a Ferrari through a translucent Red Bull. That works too, but I think that's a bit too literal and
Yeah, a
doesn't
bit
quite roll off the tongue.
long-winded. Because it's a bit long-winded, mate.
So, we have got, coming up on 6 laps to go, once George crosses the start-finish line this time around. And Frosty's going to have to pull a total of 6 seconds on Jax. Not only to pass, but to break the 3-second penalty if they would like to finish second.
But going back to a point you made earlier, Jax does have... Oh, there's a car stopped. There's now pain. It'll be Easy Life, I believe.
They have not been having it well so far this race,
As
unfortunately
they
for them.
pull to
As
the
they
pit
pull
lane.
into the pit lane, presumably to either retire or just to fix anything.
There are 3 laps. Yeah, it could be a wing or, like you said, it could be a retirement start. We shall see in a moment.
It's just a tyre change, it seems. Yeah, it's just a tyre change, it's not a pit and quit.
We do still have that close battle for 12th between Michael and 50 Gent. And they are using the DRS off of Coleman to help drag him along.
That is the closest battle currently on track, but unfortunately for Frosty, it seems like it's going to be a little bit too little too late from them.
Yeah. Same might be going for Frosty and Jax here. I think Frosty might got held up with that pack a bit too long.
But if we also pay attention, Mavsky has not been making a dent on these guys on his soft compound tyres.
Let me just get the telemetry up. He has that
And
yellow fuel light on as well.
Yeah. He's got, according to his steering wheel, 5.1 laps of fuel remaining.
Just to on to the 5 laps to go mark.
And when they cross the line at the end of this lap, there will be 5 laps to go, and they've got less than 5 laps of fuel. They are cutting it very, very fine.
We're going to be seeing we're going to be seeing a lot of lifting codes. So we have a car around in turn 1. It is Michael.
It is unfortunate for the Red Bull driver, especially when they keep seeing how their teammate is now 8.2 seconds clear.
But may I also point your attention to Frosty under 2 seconds away from Jax Daniels.
But it's going to be a big ask.
Exactly.
If they are
the tyre difference.
P3.
Jax Daniels has
difference.
What the performance in the mediums may have. Oh, we can see the rear diffuser of the Mercedes already.
And
ladies and gentlemen,
something of note is that Jax Daniels is 1 warning away from their own 3-second time penalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, and other people in the stream. Another penalty for Smug.
The Aston Martin. But if the pressure can be piled on by the Ferrari, then it may just push the Mercedes just wide enough of the white line to incur a 3-second time penalty. And then it's level games.
Indeed, I'm also looking into the pack as well. Simon Prezi. Simon has 28 lap-old hard tyres. Prezi has 17 lap-old mediums.
Let's have a look. We are now viewing the Haas. We're wide on board with them.
We'll keep an eye on the gas. We'll keep an eye on the gas for a second. If that dips under a second, we shall be watching that instead. I'm sorry to DRS Simon if that does happen.
So, at the moment, everyone's just staying where they are. But we can see the Haas almost pushing the Sauber.
You've got to feel that Sainz tyres must be down to threads almost.
But they have been managing these tyres extremely well, given they've gone for an overall softer allocation run, having opted to use and start on the soft tyres and stretch them out a good chunk. But here we go, 4 tenths.
3 to go. It is getting close to the front. It's now 1.1. Frosty will be on the battery trying to get it under a second. As it just touches the 1.000, it's now 0.9.
And it looks as though Frosty is in. But
ladies and gentlemen, buckle yourselves in for a very exciting 2.5 laps.
Wing flap open on the Haas, moves towards the inside of turn 4 and makes the move on sign down into turn 4. Very, very nice. Now, how much has he still got left in those tyres? But we take it back to the Ferrari. 6 tenths almost of a second.
Cue the Jaws music. We can't because it's copyrighted, but
maybe I'll try and find an old trumpet or something and learn to play it.
There we go.
Back flute.
Nope.
But I don't think Jaws on the flute is particularly menacing.
No.
But Prezi in the Haas has broken the
Here we go.
DRS
3 tenths as we go through Curva de Sol into DRS.
Smug Git into the 8.9 for
Smug Git. As we see Jax Daniels goes defensive into turn 4. Just holds off for another lap, I think, because there's no overtaking opportunity really until we get round to the start-finish straight.
But Jax Daniels has to also be very careful in defending here, as to not get a 3-second penalty.
Very mindful and very demure of that track limits.
see what you did there. And I also see that Screamlight is filling in for the music in the chat.
Yeah. As we see the Ferrari right up the diffuse of the Mercedes now.
Right up its chuff.
Sainsy in the
Mercedes
pit onto
almost on
soft.
the grass going into the...
That was
on
very
the
almost
entry.
that track limit violation that Frosty would have needed. As we see DRS flap open, battery on.
Now, does Frosty try a potentially questionable
Jax looks
squeeze?
inside. Ferrari tries to stick
Side
around the
by side, around
outside.
the outside.
Jack has to give way.
Absolutely
But
phenomenal
we'll have DRS
overtake.
into turn 4 on this final lap of 71.
But what do the tyres have left in them on that Mercedes?
As it stands, however, Jax will keep that second on penalty if it stays as it is. Frosty using all the track on the exit, as we see a yellow flag.
In the first sector, but it has resolved itself, so whoever that was has clearly gotten going again.
Now we need to keep an eye. Let's keep an eye on George as they are coming through Juncel for the final time on the battery up the hill under the Louis Vuitton signs. What an amazing race for them today as they weave in side by side towards the start finish straight. George Plaster is your winner of the Sao Paulo / Brazilian Grand Prix.
And across the line, unfortunately with another penalty.
However, Frosty is flashing red on fuel. They're side by side to the line. What
but
is
unfortunately,
the difference?
due to that penalty, Lord Coleman takes P3. That is very unfortunate for Frosty Racing in that Ferrari. Marski comes home in 5th on the road. Prezi comes for 6th, which will turn to 5th.
And as we
Simon
see,
gets
Central
6th.
Finley coming to the final to become the Pro-Am champion for this season as well. Obviously provisionally at the moment.
And to do that with another round spare to go.
As we see Sainsy gets a purple sector in Sector 2 with them brand new softs. They're going win it or bin it here for the final fastest lap. They're clicked 0 on the battery as well. Did they get that final lap?
Unfortunately, just don't get the fastest lap, and that is it for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Great racing up and down the grid today, but if I had to pick my own driver of the day, it would be our race winner.
Yep,
In the
15th
Red
to
Bull,
first,
making up 14
overcoming
positions to win the race.
and overcoming the pit speeding penalty as well.
Yep, to get a 10-second time penalty and then to win
However,
by
I
10
wasn't-
seconds.
And to be fair, I shall say my pick, my previous pick of Jax Daniels in that Mercedes, I wasn't far off. Let's
You
just
did
say
a good
that.
one there. And on the topic of Jax Daniels, they
believe they-
now take the lead of the Pro Championship by 1
overall.
point.
Maybe-
No, they do not take the overall because they only gained 18 points.
The gap is 21.
And the
is
gap
it?
was 21, so it's a 3-point gap now
Oh yeah, it's fair.
in the overall standings in favour of, I know this already, DRS Swanton. I didn't have to check that at all. So it's a 3-point gap now at the top. But there is your final results, with the fastest lap overall going to DRS Smudgate in the Aston Martin with a 1:08.915.
Well, as we go back to the lobby screen, I've just got to say to everyone, thank you for viewing, and to thank you to the DRS League for the opportunity to commentate tonight.
Yep, I would say for a first attempt it could have gone a hell of a lot worse. It was fun. The racing was brilliant to watch. There were some really good overtakes up and down the field, and everyone seemed to keep it pretty clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna say only a few yellow flashes, but nothing too serious. Only one VSC, I believe.
Yeah, just the one full course yellow.
So yeah, great racing. Obviously, again, thank you to DRS, thank you to Six Pompano for inviting me to commentate with you all tonight.
Anytime, mate. And hopefully, depending on how this has been received by everyone, and depending on our availability for next week,
We shall see. What's the next round next week, I believe?
let's have a look at the finale. Let's get to the channel, to the calendar. The finale is held at Suzuka.
Ooh, we'd love a bit
And
of
that
that.
will not be a 100% race, that will only be a 50, to which I would assume that we would have a different qualifying format as well. So it'll be a very different experience for tonight, but we shall hopefully see that come to fruition, and I would be happy to...
Hopefully we do not see any Senna and Prost moves.
Well, it would be interesting.
Oh yeah, be interesting to talk on, but not interesting for the championship battles. Whether they be
So hopefully, the both of us, though, will be back next week to do the same.
Yep. So, without further ado, let's on that bombshell, it's time to end.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yep. Hope you all enjoyed. Good night.